Hi, this is Neil. Welcome to Article Reading for Juniors. Today's article is about cotton. Cotton is a plant, as you probably know, that makes fabric that people can use to make clothes. This article talks about how some people are turning against cotton in some instances because using it to make clothes sometimes, especially when you're making jeans, damages the environment. And they're trying to find other ways to make clothes that create fabric like cotton, but that's different and more sustainable. It doesn't damage the environment. We'll talk today about questions 2 and 4. Number 2, Don Ellams suggests jeans are least likely to be made how? So let's see what it says. Their impact on the globe, however, is anything but simple. Jeans. Denim jeans are firstly and massively water intensive, says Don Ellams, a design student who's produced one of the world's first pairs of no-cotton jeans. They use a lot of water. You're using a lot of water in the growing and harvesting of the cotton. And then, to make it into the denim, you're using either a natural indigo or a synthetic indigo, so it's going to need lots of dyeing baths to apply this color. So she's telling us that jeans take a lot of water to be made, right? So you need to have a lot of water to make jeans. In all, from cotton field to final fabric, it can take as much as 10,000 liters of water to create a single pair of jeans. So it seems like jeans are least likely to be made in a place that does not have a lot of water, right? Because they need a lot of water to be made. And she emphasizes that in her discussion. So they are least likely to be made with cotton is wrong. They are most likely to be made of cotton. She's the first person who has made jeans without cotton. So we can get rid of A. What about B? With human-made materials and dyes. Well, it says that jeans are sometimes made with synthetic indigo, and that means human-made. So that's not something they're least likely to be made of. It's something that they're likely to be made of. So we can get rid of that. Remember, you're looking for something that is not likely to be used in the jeans making process. They are least likely to be made by oppressed people. Oppressed people are people who are suffering in some way, who someone is forcing to do something. And if we had read further, it tells us how people have to work incredibly hard to get jeans. So I would say that C is probably not the right answer either. D almost definitely is the right answer though, because if you are using a lot of water to make jeans, you probably can't make them in a desert country, which is very dry. Let's go on down to number 4. We can guess that in Uzbekistan, cotton agriculture, what? So Uzbekistan is a country, it's in Central Asia, and let's see what it says about Uzbekistan here. A growing number of international apparel brands and retailers have pledged to ban the use of Uzbek cotton in past years to protest the use of forced labor and child labor. So in Uzbekistan, apparently, they force people to work to grow cotton. Let's keep reading. Matthew Fisher Daly is the coordinator of the Global Cotton Campaign, a group of human rights groups and investor organizations working to end forced labor in Uzbekistan, where nearly all of its 1 million ton annual harvest is hand-picked by involuntary workers. So they're trying to stop the use of Uzbek cotton because it's picked by involuntary workers, people who do not choose to work, forced labor, basically. So let's see what the answer might be. Well, actually, let's eliminate stuff first, right? So it didn't mention water at all, but we need to read a little bit further maybe before we eliminate that. Did it save people from forced labor? Definitely not. It made people do forced labor. So we can get rid of B pretty easily, because we're looking for some effect that cotton had on Uzbekistan. Did it lead to more legal protections for children? No, probably not. It says here that Uzbek cotton harvesting led to child labor. So that seems to make it have children with less protection, not more. So we can get rid of that. And we haven't seen anything about Turkmenistan yet, so let's keep reading. It's either A or D. but it's kind of unclear because the part we read didn't mention either of those things. Fisher Daly says sustainable fabrics like Tencel and chic fashion alternatives such as LM's no-cotton jeans may eventually prove powerful tools in pushing countries like Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, and others to give up forced labor and their damaging dependence on cotton. Cotton certainly has been overproduced in Central Asia, most significantly in Uzbekistan, where you see the desiccation of the Aral Sea has had a tremendous impact on communities, he says. So there's certainly a need to consider alternatives to cotton. That said, there are also ways to significantly improve cotton production and make it both more efficient and more profitable for the farmers and folks that work at the farm level. It doesn't say anything about a war with Turkmenistan, but it does say something about a sea, and it talks about the negative effects of cotton on a sea. Desiccation means drying out. And so we can pretty much say that A is the right answer because deplete means to take away something. So it took away water from the area. It desiccated, it dried out their sea. That's a really tough question because you have to know some really pretty tough words like desiccation and deplete. But now you do. That's all for today. Have a good night, and I'll talk to you tomorrow about the next article. Bye now.